Okay. So today I want to talk about working from home because everybody seems to have to do it now. A lot of companies are making you guys to work from home. I work for myself, so I have been doing it for a while. I've been working from home for a while, and I know it takes a lot of adjustments and a lot of self-discipline to be able to actually work in your own house or in your own home. So, as all of you here know, my name is Pavla. I am a owner of a professional organizing company called Chic Organizer, and my job requires me to go to clients' locations and organize their homes and help them organize their uh, homes and houses and any room in their home. But most importantly, when I'm not working with the client, I am in my house just working on behind the scenes of the business, where I have to write emails, I have to create content, and I do have to plan organizing projects, and I have to all do it from home because I do not have an office since my office is kind of in my client's home. So I thought I could share some of my experience for my friends to help you guys a little bit with this situation right now. Yeah, like I said, I work for Chic Organize. I own Chic Organize, and working from home took me some time to adjust because I feel it's not as easy to just like drop the book and put on something else in sweatpants and mascara and just start working and being productive because home is a place where we feel like we want to relax and where we come home after a long day at work. And so we all have it associated with relax and kind of chill stuff to do, not working. If you guys have any questions at any point, just feel free to ask. Sitting here chatting. Uh, so yeah, like I said, I had some struggles with starting working from home, and now when we're all chained to our own houses, we kind of have to deal with it. So I prepared 4 tips, actually 5, on how to execute that task. I used to commute to New York City for 4 years, so I'm also familiar with commuting. It's not like I've never commuted. I cannot believe there are people in the world who said, "Oh, I've been working from home for 12 years," and they're like 30. So that I think is pretty fortunate. So yeah, now I know both sides of the spectrum. Commuting to the city, which took me over an hour every day to get there and over an hour to get home. So I know that side, and I also know the side of not commuting at all, basically commuting from my bed to my computer. All right, so let's start with tip number 1 on how to work from home. The first thing I did was to set up an area in my house where I wanted to work. It wasn't as easy. First thing I did was I just got a laptop and I used to work on my couch or on my bed, and it just it did not work for me because I literally need to sit down and have a desk and slightly uncomfortable chair to be able to work because if I am in various places in the house, it doesn't work for me. So first thing you have to do is to designate an area that is your working space. So if you have a desktop computer or a laptop, it doesn't matter. You might already have a desk. I'll get to it later on how to like adjust your already working area to make it feel a little bit different. I think the area should be as far as possible from your current bed and from your current relax area, because if your couch is only 2 feet away, it's very easy to just slip back and kind of lay down and read a book or lay with your laptop on your couch and just zone out. So all you need is basically to find a place where you're going to be working from now on. If you had it before, great. If you don't, designate it. If you have let's say even if you have a small place, if you have a small apartment, it could be your couch, but you should get probably like a little desk for your couch so you don't have to look down all the time because it hurts your back. I'm familiar with it. I just got my boyfriend a little desk that kind of helps him not to stare down at his computer all the time. So you need that. The good thing to have is headphones as well. I use mine either, these, or I have big ones because we both work from home with my boyfriend. So we need to kind of cancel the noise from each other so we can both focus easily. So headphones is a good idea to have. So like I said, step number 1, designate where you're going to work. Make sure you have your laptop, make sure you have your headphones, make sure it's different from where you usually relax or where you usually hang out, and as far as possible from the relaxing part of your life. While setting up the area for work, you absolutely have to make sure that it is clutter-free. As a professional organizer, I know how important it is for me and for other people to have their area free out of anything that's not supposed to be there. Even if you already have a desk and if you have area or you're already working, it's good to clear it out of any wrappers, or if you have too many papers or pencils everywhere, just take the time and make it neat. It's going to make a huge difference because our visual cortex usually focuses on the clutter around us and not on the work we're supposed to do at the moment. So decluttering from my profession, I know, is very important, but I also know it's important for being productive. And I have set up many offices for clients who because they cluttered them so much, they could not work there anymore, and they were falling behind on tasks. And in some cases they fall behind on paying bills, even though they're doing work from home and people have home offices. If they're cluttered, they're not going to work there, and then they just shove papers everywhere, and then you can fall behind on the important stuff, or you can lose papers because it's just one big pile. So yes, your step number 1, desk work area should be absolutely clear of clutter. If you're comfortable working on the couch or on the bed, that's fine as well. Just make sure that, let's say if you really want to work on your bed, change it up a little bit. You might want to switch the pillow to the other side, or you might just want to be sitting on your spouse's side. Just differentiate that from your regular sleep schedule, I would say. It's going to make a big difference. Step number 1 was creating an area for you to work from home. Step number 2 is another important step. It's setting up a timeline. So I'm not sure how your offices are making you work, or if you have to log in your hours or what works for you. Everybody has a different schedule, and also everybody has families and kids on different schedules. So I would suggest to make it as manageable for you. So it is important to set the timeline, because you will know, on Sunday night, you will know that Monday from 9 to 11, you have to answer those emails, or you have to work, or you have to do the certain task. I'm not sure if you guys have to do big chunks of time. I usually set myself, let's say I do Mondays from 10 to 4 in my house. So that's the time where I designate solely for working. So depending on your schedule, it could be in the evening. You might be an evening person, you like to work at night. You might be a morning person, you like to get it done before everybody else wakes up. But it is important to set that for yourself now, because you have no kind of boss to oversee you if you came to the office at 9:00 a.m. or nobody's kind of overseeing it. So now when everybody is their own boss, it is kind of challenging. I think it might be challenging. It took me a long time to put myself on a schedule. I used to be like, oh yeah, I work from home. I'll get up when I'm rested or when I finish sleeping. But that didn't work, because if I work on different schedules every day from home, it throws me off. And if I don't start in the morning, I know I'm not going to do it at all. I will try, I will attempt, I'll be walking around my office all day, but I'm not going to finish it or do it. So the timeline is important to make sure you know the hours you can work. Plus it helps you prepare mentally. Like, yes, tomorrow I'm working, even if you work 1 day a week. Okay, tomorrow from 3 to 7, I am working on graphic design. Yeah, if it helps you to get up in terms of setting up a timeline, you can set up an alarm, obviously, to get up on time, or you can set up a reminder for that day. Like, because although we're all home, the days kind of can get out of the hand quickly. So you can set a reminder at a certain time when you're supposed to start working. I would suggest not drag the work all day, because then let's say you're supposed to start working and you're not gonna make it, or you're gonna attempt, but you're not gonna actually do it. It's gonna feel like you've been working all day, but the result would be very little. Like the result would be probably just 0, because if you don't really sit down and work, then it just feels like you've been working for so many hours. But if you start and then you go to Instagram, you go to Facebook, you do not avoid your distractions, then you kind of feel like you've been doing it all day, but nothing really gets done. I suggest also taking breaks. Even if you are supposed to work for a couple hours or all day, make sure, again, you can set up a reminder, you can put it in your calendar, you can put it on a piece of paper that at 12 o'clock you want to take a lunch break. That works for me. I'm just speaking from a personal experience here today. I am no expert, but yes, like I said, I had to adjust to this myself a couple of years ago. So yeah, if you need to take a break, take it. You can get water, you can get food. Sometimes I go fold the laundry or empty out the dishwasher. Although some people call it distractions, for me, it helps me. Like if I'm in the middle of writing a blog post or planning a container store design for closet, and it takes me more than an hour and a half, I'm just gonna take a break by emptying a dishwasher, and I switch the tasks. And it does help me, because if I push it too hard to try to finish it, it's going to actually take me longer. Again, this is very individual, whatever works for you. I know people who just sit down and work for 12 hours straight without a break, without water, and they're fine. So you just got to do what works for you. Then we have step number 3. We have set up our work area. We know where we're going to be working. We know when are going to be working, what days, what times, how long. Now it's the morning off. Okay, it's Monday or Tuesday, but it's the day of the scheduled work. So it is important to set kind of a morning ritual. You do whatever you do every morning, coffee, brush teeth, this and that. But we're saving some time with the commute. So it's a good chance to maybe have a nicer breakfast. You don't have to like run out and not eat. You can use that time that you save for commute, either for working, obviously, or you can do something nice for yourself before the day starts. What I do when I work from home, I actually, even when I work at home, I actually get ready as I'm going to work. I don't go as ham. Okay, I do brush my teeth and brush my hair and put a little bit of mascara on, but I try to differentiate it from my other weekend mornings, especially that my office days are Mondays. So I'm going from 2 days of being at home mornings, getting up a little later, having slow mornings, to the work day, but I'm still in the same place. I'm still home. I still have pajamas on, and now what? Now I have to start working. So I do like to get ready as I would go out of the house. Not as hard, but yes. On my normal days at home, I wear, sweatpants and very comfortable t-shirt. When I'm supposed to work in my home office, I put on something different, maybe a t-shirt that I would wear outside, or I don't really wear jeans around the house, but I put on like maybe black leggings or something that if I were to go outside, I look like I'm going outside. And then it automatically makes me feel like I am going to work, although my commute is, 20 feet to my home office. So yeah, the differentiation, I think, is important to the morning ritual, and to separate the home time from the work time. Sometimes I even put a full makeup on, and I know nobody's gonna see me, but it's just another differentiation of the day that helps me be productive. The no commute use time, I use it to work, because that way I could start working actually a little earlier than if I waste an hour on the train. That way I am done earlier. So yeah, again, do what works for you, whatever separates the home time from the work time, as far from your bed as possible, in different clothes, potentially. I don't wear earrings when I'm home on the weekend, but I do wear them on my office days. So, little things like that can really make a difference when you work from home. So that was step number 3. Like I said, we all will find our own system in it, but yeah, it took me some time to adjust, especially when I started working for myself. I was like, oh, I'm my own boss. I have unlimited time for myself, which I end up working more than if I had 9 to 5, but then the discipline is kind of hard to maintain. And then we can talk about the productivity. So we have a space to work, we have area to work, we have a timeline. Now we got ready for work. We're wearing different clothes than laying on the couch clothes. And now how do we stay productive? Like I said, the timeline, to me, it's crucial. I do like to set my hours. Even if I have to do one thing, I say, okay, I'm going to do it between 9 and 2. Now, I don't know how long everything will take me, but it helps my brain to focus on it. And then because I know how long it's going to because I know how long I'm going to be doing it for, then I know that it's not going to last forever. I used to think very differently. I was like, okay, now I have to write the blog post, and I sit here and I just think about it for an hour and walk around and get distracted by my phone. Now, if I tell myself, okay, you have an hour to write it, I do write it in an hour. Again, we have to be our own bosses now, which is challenging, but I believe if I can do it, everybody could do it. So now in terms of productivity, so we got ready for work. Like I said, we're wearing different clothes than laying on the couch. Now we have to figure out how to be and stay productive. So what works for me is to make a to-do list. I usually make a big one, kind of like, okay, write a marketing thing, write a blog post, plan organizing supplies, plan a closet. Where am I gonna get shelves for somebody's garage? And then after I put them into those like big chunks, so now we're on step 4, making to-do lists. So those are 4, let's say those are big chunks of tasks we have to do. After I have them done, after I write down, okay, write a blog post, plan a closet, plan an organizing supplies, then I have to break them down into smaller things because I get overwhelmed when I see plan a client supplies in Container Store. It seems overwhelming to me. So I write down, okay, look at pictures. Are we doing baskets or bins? Are we doing dividers? So I break down the big task to a smaller tasks. Or writing a blog post. Again, that's a good example is, okay, write a blog post. Step number 1, find an appropriate photograph. Number 2, write the actual text. Step 3, post it on my website. Step 4, do all the behind stuff of metadata and name the pictures and stuff like that. So make your to-do list, but break down the big chunks into smaller chunks. So each big step, it's important to break into smaller steps because then it's actually it feels better to cross off little things than if you spend 1 5-hour time on doing one thing and then you can just do one check. That's in terms of productivity. Another thing about productivity, I like to silence my phone. The other day I actually had to flip it the other way. My boyfriend was making fun of me, saying, your phone is flipped. But because of all the notifications, although I am pretty good with notifications, I have almost everything is silenced besides email and personal, in case of emergency, phone calls. So you can turn those off, or you can just turn your phone off. It will help you with staying productive because every time the phone dings, or even when the screen comes on, you tend to look at it and then you get distracted. Oh, this friend wrote me and I have not heard from her for a long time. Or, now everybody is home, so everybody's texting everybody all the time. So really, when you're having your designated time to work, try to distract all the distractions, especially your phone. I'm not sure how to silence your kids though, but I'm sure you guys will figure it out. try to find a quiet place. I know with kids at home now, I don't have kids, but I work in homes where people have kids, and I know it is impossible, but just do your best to stay sane. And you can work from bathroom, but I'm sure they're going to find you there as well. Oh, it's also good to have in terms of productivity, it's good to have an accountability partner. If you can ask your colleague or your friend, most likely your colleague though, because you might be working on the same task or you have the same boss, so you can team up and you can work at the same time. So if you can ask your colleague or whoever you want to work at the same time, that helps a lot. I have experienced that before with some of my organizer friends. We set up a time that we're going to work, okay, let's work from 11 to, or 10 to 3 or 10 to 4, whatever time works for us. It actually makes me want to sit there and work because I know somebody else is working as well. Here, Lillian, who's in the chat, is actually my accountability partner, and I feel like I have done a lot of my work just because I knew she's kind of either working as well or because I told her I'm going to do it. Sometimes I didn't, but she's nice. She didn't yell at me. But yeah, the accountability is to me, it's new. I kind of just discovered it, but it does help in terms of being productive. Or you can just tell your friend, okay, I'm going to write a marketing post tomorrow, and she or he can check on you. They might not even know what marketing post is, but why not? They will just make sure you ask them to check on you and kind of help with that. So that was step number 4, and we are almost done. Lillian said it's super helpful to have an accountability partner, especially if you know that will help you stay on track for sure. I 100% agree. It does help. I remember when I was in college and I knew when like my other friends were partying out, it was very hard to study. It was very hard. But once I knew everybody's at home and everybody's doing what they're supposed to do and studying, I was much more productive. I didn't know all of the stuff I'm talking about now. I did not know it till a couple years ago, till I started to work for myself, and it actually mattered to me what I do with my time. I used to be a huge time waster on social media, on everything. Tasks used to take me days to finish. I always finished everything when I was supposed to. I always was good with deadlines, but I was a time waster a lot. So once I started working for myself, it mattered to me what I do with my time. And once I got busy with clients and organizing, then I realized the most how precious my little minutes here and there are just for me and my well-being and my health. And then I make a little note of step number 5. It's not mandatory, but it's nice to create a little reward for yourself. Let's say you do finish the work you were supposed to that day. You can create a little reward for yourself. Let's say, okay, I can, if I do this, I'll watch an episode of something, or I'll actually get a glass of wine, or it's nice to head towards something. It doesn't have to be a big goal. It might be a bar of chocolate. It might be a couch time. Sometimes I do think about like, okay, if I finish it, the couch is right there. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I just have to finish this. So it's nice to create a little reward for yourself, even on the days like this where we don't have, when the days tend to blend together and be every day the same. It's nice to maybe every day have a little reward for yourself of like, okay, if I finish this work, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to treat myself to a bath, or whatever works for you and your mentality. Gennaro says, my business partner and I have done the same thing. Daily meetings on cam with each other to ensure we get it done. Exactly. Yes. It helps you. You know there's someone else overseeing you. They're not going to get mad. They're there to hold you accountable. And that's a big thing. That's what I've learned. If you have any struggles with working from home, share them. I'd like to hear about it. Maybe it will help me to realize what I struggle with, because I'm 100% not perfect and I still do struggle with productivity. My biggest issue is laziness. Not even laziness, but there sometimes, as much as I love organizing and preparing organizing, there are a million other things I would love to do. Lillian says, phone and distractions. I'm going to start leaving it in my bedroom instead of on my desk. That's a great idea. I should do the same. Because even when I turn off all my notifications and the phone is flipped, I still tend to grab it and look at it. That's a good idea. Leave your phones in the bedroom for the time being and time working. Because yes, I'll try. Also, the news distracts me. Yes, the news distracts all of us right now. Because we tend to watch the updates and follow on what's happening. But again, if you can work for an hour or two and then take a break. And while on the break, you can follow all the news and then put the phone away or silence your notifications. That would be great. I watched a video yesterday on YouTube, and this lady said when she does tasks that she does not need internet connection, she turns off her Wi-Fi, which I think it's powerful. Unfortunately, I need Wi-Fi for most of the stuff. That was a good tip. I'll try it when I'm like creating content or writing something. I think anything anything would help. That was all to my topic. Let me do a quick recap here. So we spoke about setting up an area where to work. We spoke about the timeline, setting up hours for yourself to work between 1 and 7 or whatever works. We created a morning ritual, or we would be good to change a little bit of the morning routine. And then we spoke about productivity, how to stay productive and how to silence all the distractions possible, although I understand it's very hard. And then creating a reward for yourself after you're done working.